What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Heroes in the New Era, Episode 5. This is a little bit ahead of schedule. I figured I'd wait till we had a Scuriato for it, but I went ahead and finished the main deck today. So I figured I'd go ahead and profile it for you. It is a low monster count. It has a couple techs and tricks and things that are definitely different from anything I've ever showed you before, and quite different from the way many hero players play the deck. So we'll go ahead and get right into it. First off, we play Stratos. He's that all-around cornerstone of any hero deck, and he will search the remaining 7 monsters that are played in the main deck. The first 3 of which are Triple Neos Alias. He's our Shining Bait, he's Spark Bait, he's our 1900 Beat Stick, just our all-around solid monster. We play Double Bubble Man. Unlike Bubble Beat that plays 3, we're not focused on Bubble Man. We don't care to have Bubble Man or not, but Bubble Man does really augment the deck. He opens up access to Blade Armor OTKs. He works with Future Fusion and Miracle Fusion and Super Poly. Just all around really, really awesome. We play 1 Captain Gold to search out 1 Skyscraper. That's a little different. You rarely, if ever, see that played. But by pitching Captain Gold for the Skyscraper, you help bait your graveyard for Miracle Fusion. So that's 1 less alias you have to remove with Miracle, which keeps those aliases more alive for cards like Hero Blast to recycle back and then be able to use your Gemini Sparks and things. As well as Skyscraper has some really good mid to late game plays that can help you take back over if you're in a bad situation. And our last monster is 1 Destiny Hero Diamond Dude. As a Dark, he works with a Scuriato. He also works well with Absolute Zero, and there are a lot of spell cards that you can use for his effect in the deck. The ability to Miracle Fuse into a Scuriato to get over like Catastor, which used to be this deck's biggest problem if you didn't have Spark, has actually won me a couple matches because they didn't expect me to go into a Scuriato since we don't have him yet. But in playtesting, we can do all sorts of fun things. For spells, we play Triple Duality, Rhoda, and Triple E-Call to get into all of our monsters and stuff that we want. If you ever have dead E-Calls, you can always pitch them for Super Poly. We play Triple Gemini Spark. We have our aliases, and we recycle them a lot in this deck. More so than typical other builds, especially since we don't have to remove those aliases as often, thanks to the Captain Gold and something else I'll talk about in a second. Your Sparks are going to be more alive than they typically would be. We play 1 Skyscraper to search with the Captain Gold, if able, if you haven't already drawn it. If you don't know what Skyscraper does, if it's active on the field and you attack with a hero whose attack is less than its attack target, your hero gains 1,000. So you essentially have Stratos at 28, Alias at 29, hell, Bubble Man at 18. Can really help get you out of a tight situation. We have 7 different ways to fuse in the deck, the first of which is Future Fusion. Typically you're targeting 0 by pitching a Bubble Man and an Alias. That helps set up your Hero Blast so that you can get those Alias searched to your hand and use your Sparks. It puts things in the graveyard for Miracle Fusion as well. We play Triple Super Poly, because what better way to put your boss monsters on the field than steal your opponent's cards to do it? And then the cool thing about Super Poly is because we're fusing with it as well, we're putting more fusions on the field, which means there are more fusions that are going to be in the graveyard. So the more things that are in the graveyard, the more things we have to remove for Triple Miracle Fusion. Again, making sure we can keep those aliases in the graveyard for as long as possible. So our Miracle Fusions are more live in this particular build because of the Super Polys than they would be in any other standard Miracle Hero build. To finish off our spell lineup, we play Heavy Storm, Mind Control, Dark Hole, and Monster Reborn. On to traps, we play 10 of them. We have Solemn Judgment and Double Warning for the Brigade. We play Double Torrential, Triple Hero Blast, because we really want to recycle those aliases. And finally, Double Compulse, just to get rid of problem monsters or things we don't have Super Poly for, or even to bounce back our Stratos and abuse it. Now, a couple tips and tricks about the deck. A couple cards to pull out so that I can talk about here are Miracle, Super Poly, Random Spell Call. I'll use Random Spell Card. I'll use E-Call, and Captain Gold. Now, Captain Gold can't exist on the field if you don't have Skyscraper active, or otherwise if Sealer Rain's active. But you can Miracle Fusion and Super Poly with your own face down monsters, so you can always set Captain Gold and then use these cards to get your fusions on the board, so don't forget that. And then Super Poly's biggest weakness has always been the ability to bottomless or torrential the fusion that comes out afterwards. So let's assume you have like Stratos on the field. And it's your turn. You go, okay, activate E-Call. And they go, okay, that's fine. Chain Super Poly. Now what's going to happen, Super Poly is going to resolve first, sending your Stratos and whatever their monster is. Now, let's just assume it's some light monster, so that the Shining can come out. Now at that point, E-Call still needs to resolve, letting you search. That being the case, cards like Torrential and Bottomless can't work. It's sort of the opposite of how you use Chain MST, then Torrential on the summon of, say, Shining or Pulsar to make them miss timing, or hitting them with Soul Taker, where the last thing to happen is the gaining of the life points. Just that reverse ideal here, if you put Super Poly at Chain Link 2 or higher, you make sure the fusion can't be taken out by cards like Bottomless and Torrential. So keep that in mind when you're playing the deck. On to the extra deck. We start off with Triple Shining. It's pretty staple. Sometimes you might feel like you only need 2, but for the love of God, play 3. There will be a match where if you had the third one, you would have won. So just don't risk it. Play 3, don't lose. Double Zero. We have access to 0 with both Diamond Dude and the Bubbleman, with Miracle Fusion and Super Poly and Future Fusion. So you got Double Zero. Our missing knight in action is Double Escuriato. We'll have him in a couple of weeks. The ability to Super Poly off Dark Arm Dragon or the Inzectors or Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon before they can make any really, really good plays is going to be key. So Escuriato to round out that attribute steal ability with the Super Poly is absolutely awesome. And then just to finish off those attributes, you have 1 Nova Master, 1 Gaia, and 1 Great Tornado. Now we have 5 Exceeds to finish off the extra deck. First is Gem-Knight Pearl, if you need the 26 beats, or if they have Skill Drain active, or whatever. Maystroke for, indestructibility, Book of Moon effects, whatever you need them for. Photon Assassin to get over things like Spirit Reaper, or say you ran into a Snowman Eater. You can always be like Alias, Bubbleman, Photon, put it to attack, swing for 21, sometimes for game like that. And then finally, I'm still missing one. It's in the mail, coming to me right now. But double Blade Armor Ninja. Typically, I only play 1 of this card in my hero decks, but I feel like if you're playing heroes with Bubbleman, you need to be playing Blade Armor Ninjas in equal numbers to the number of Bubblemen that you play in the main deck. So that's why I got double Blade Armor Ninja. If you have a live Bubbleman, you have a live Blade Armor Ninja. Now, on to the side deck. Some of this could be seen as a little experimental, but I really like the way it's worked so far. First card is 1 Kaiku. Works really well against Inzectors and Chaos Dragons. You could even tech it in against random other matches if you want to have some graveyard control. As well as being dark, you can use him with the Escuriato now, so he won't just be sitting dead in your graveyard like he has in formats past. 1 Snowman and 1 DD Warrior Lady. They pretty much serve the same purpose, but they go about it in different ways. Warrior Lady can be offensive if you need her to be. You can take the life just to attack attack into something and get it off the field. You can search her with Rhoda. As a warrior, you can exceed into Blade Armor Ninja or any of the other rank 4s with her and such. Or Snowman Eater has a really big defense, is awesome in the mirror match, and has the bonus of being a water for 0 material. The last 2 monsters we cite are Double Maxi for like Samurai and Windups. You'd rather have them and not need them than need them and not have them. On to spells, we have Triple Soul Taker for the mirror match. And for Chaos Dragons, we want those Shinings and Pulsars that miss timing, as well as the mirror match when you know they have Super Poly against you. Soul Taker first to kill their monster on the field, then make your play so they can't Super Poly your stuff off. Double MST for back row and like Field Spell Hate for Dark Worlds or Gravekeepers or just, whatever. If you need more backfield control, you can cite into those extra MSTs. Double Deep Prison and a Bottomless. These are for things like Mirror Match, Chaos Dragons, hell, Glad Beasts, just where you need that extra field control and those attack negations and whatnot. You have access to those. And the last 2 cards are a little something different than you normally see. First stuff is an extra Nova Master. If you feel like you need to be super polying into more fires, say you're trying to get over Zen Mains and Logias in the Dino Rabbit matchup and whatnot, you can go into that extra Nova Master. And then the final card is Draco Quest, to round out the Snowman, Warrior Lady, Double Maxi side for the 6 Samurai. There's nothing better than super polying a Sheehan and a Barkion off the field. So that's the reason for that. So let me know what you guys think. Comment, rate, subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace out.